I did a vote in our team page of what you guys wanted for team call, and almost everybody said they wanted to learn how to be more present or have more of a presence on our social media. And I think it's so important because that is our storefront. Really and truly, that's our storefront. So when people are following you and they're, watching you, that you are your social media is your storefront. And let's see, before we go into the meat of the call, really quickly, we have 1 week left, 1 full week left of the month. So that's plenty of time to reach whatever goals you're setting out for. If it's success, I can't ever say Success Club really quickly. Success Club, or, whatever it is you're setting out for, there's plenty of time, start inviting like crazy, follow up with everybody you've ever spoken to. Follow-ups are huge. And follow-ups are actually just showing people you care about your original conversation. So follow up. And our Success Club board, it looks very awesome, you guys. So continue to put your points on the board to keep that up to date so that we can recognize you by the end of the month. Let's see. All right. So yes, the meat of the call is and I'm going to be recognizing Jennifer Hayes either tomorrow or Thursday. We realized that she is a Success Club legend as of now. Like we thought it was going to be next month, but it's actually like real time. That's huge. 24 months of Success Club. And y'all, most of those months were 10. Maybe 1 or 2 was 5 or above. So amazing. I mean, literally amazing. So she gets to walk across the stage at Summit. Walk across the stage. So it's huge, huge, huge. I'm sure you'll get some kind of plaque or some sort of trophy as well. So I'm so excited. I just got chill bumps. Again, I've gotten chill bumps a lot this week. But okay, so congratulations. That's really amazing. So I'm so proud of you. I know you know that, but I just wanted you to know and recognize you on the call. But so the meat of the call, again, is social media. And, we put ourselves out there vulnerable sometimes, and sometimes, sharing with your before and afters and all this different stuff. But I was on a call a few weeks ago with Chelsea Pearson. We have a weekly call with our corporate mentor, and his name's Craig. And it's a different topic every single week. But if you don't follow Chelsea Pearson, she has a amazing presence on Facebook. She's very genuine. She's very heartfelt. Her posts, you always know she puts a lot of thought and a lot of heart into her posts. And she has an amazing following because of her social media. Well, she actually hosted the call that we had a few weeks ago, and she said we could actually share it with our team. So she's not physically on the call, but the actual content that she shared, you guys, is literally going to make your jaw drop. It's going to change your, your puppies in the background. Fur babies are invited always. So I'm going to do a screen share and actually share this call with you guys. I'm going to skip over the beginning and the end to where it's going to be condensed, but get a pen and paper or whatever you use to take notes, because this call literally is going to change your social media. Because again, she's like queen of social media, and her business shows. She has a team of 7,000, and it's all from because of the way she shares on social media. So I'm going to share this call, and again, be prepared to take some notes, because at the end of the call, I was literally like jaw drop. How amazing she is. So, all right, let's share via. Again, she agreed to let us share this. So
can you mute everybody who's not Chelsea?
It takes a little bit of time.
Okay.
They reach China and they hit Success Club Kings. Okay. One thing that I definitely believe in is picking and sticking with a platform, because just like,
Sorry, guys.
I don't know if your leaders have ever done this where they reach Diamond, they hit Success Club consistently, and then they say, well, now I have to do something else. And all of a sudden their success tanks. And I believe that the compound effect definitely takes place in all these different platforms. And even a month or 6 months devoting yourself to something, it takes a little bit of time. And Chalene Johnson was definitely my mentor when it comes to social media, especially in the beginning. And she does social media in seasons. And I have done that exact same concept where I will devote myself exclusively to either figuring out a new platform or finding one that speaks to me. So I share this with my team. YouTube is a place for your cold market. Video, eye contact, hearing your voice, seeing you're a human, not that you're an autoresponder or just even a picture. You have such an ability to create connection. When it comes to your cold market, as I'm sure you guys know, the more vulnerable you are, the more connective tissue that is going to all of a sudden allow that person who is a complete stranger and you're a complete stranger to trust you. And that's what I did in the beginning. And I just poured my heart out and I shared everything. And I used a lot of video so that they could see. And it wasn't polished video. It was iPhone video and messy office, messy bedroom, messy kitchen video. And in that, I think you build a lot of credibility and a lot of trust that behind the scenes is working for you. So if you're good at storytelling, if you're good at teaching, which you guys all are, and speaking, even if it's an unpolished version, you're giving your future coaches permission to kind of be unpolished as well. But I kind of had this aha moment, like, we work so hard on team calls for our team and doing training videos, all these different things. Why don't we do the same thing for our prospects? So as opposed to doing a free group, I don't like to do free groups personally. I like to create high value content and just put it on social media. So you could do a 5-minute video on your top 5 tips for confidence building. And this is a little bit like the Facebook Live video or Periscope phenomenon, but that's live. You could do a PowerPoint presentation or a video edit or something where you're training and you don't have to do it live. You can upload it, you can edit it, and then you can put it on YouTube. What I love about YouTube and what I've noticed, Success Leads Clues, Scotty Hobbs has a YouTube, Lindsay Matway has a YouTube, Melanie Mitchell has a YouTube, Brittany Leggett has a YouTube, and I know they're all big recruiters. And I've heard many people say, I researched this person, or I researched Beachbody. And so YouTube is definitely a place where you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone in attracting your cold market who's looking to become Beachbody coaches. And I think that it takes a little bit of effort, but it works in your sleep. And that's a goal of mine for the next year, is to create tons of training videos that I can use for my team, so you kind of double dip. But you're also putting yourself out there for people who are researching which coach do I want to sign up with. And that's a huge asset, I know, in all of those coaches that I named their business. So you guys have those skills, and that's a great place. Instagram and Snapchat, it's life casting. And for me right now, in this phase of my business, I don't have time to be life casting all the time. I'm doing a lot of work in this business that isn't pretty, it isn't sexy, it isn't like, leisure and freedom. I'm digging in and I'm working a lot. And so I'm just not in a season where life casting and Snapchat works for me. I see how that works for Amy Silverman. I totally get it. Maybe I'll move to an island in a year or so, but for me right now, those things didn't work. But they did work when I was life casting, building a business, and working a full-time job and staying fit. And that was relevant to my cold market because a lot of them were either trying to get out of debt or they were trying to stay fit, working a 12-hour work week with the commute. So if you have, whatever your life situation is, if life casting is applicable and that's something that you can share with other people out of the overflow, that's great. Facebook is for writing photos and short videos. I'm not good at workout videos. I know like Megan Eagleson is killer. She does all those cool workout videos. It's just not me. I've tried it. Blogging for me right now is great. It's writing and it's teaching. And I think, again, all of us are super great at, we have the skill of building trainings. We have the skill of running webinars. Why not use that same skill set for things like how to keep your closet clean, spring cleaning, how to build a budget. All of those things are highly pinnable and highly visited blog posts. So it doesn't have to be this quickly digestible cold market. I'm doing Pinterest recipes right now and linking them to my website. And the number one source of traffic that I get to my website is healthy peanut butter cups using Shakeology. And I got so tired of just constantly having to create new Facebook content. If it's not working or it's not working the way you want it to, switch it up, because these things like YouTube, blogs, and Pinterest, they really work for you when you're sleeping, and you don't have to constantly make this like watered down content and reinvent the wheel all the time. So what I wanted to talk about, if you guys want social media experience or expertise, you go to the experts. I can't really claim that I have Facebook ad expertise or I know everything about each platform. What I do know is how to speak to my ideal coach avatar and how to make someone who's cold feel warm. And so I kind of want to treat the disease, the cause, not the symptoms, because I think that I myself and then my team as well gets caught up in like, well, what posts work and what time and how often do I post and do I boost a post? And right now the people that are seeing success with Facebook ads are seeing success with Facebook ads because they're speaking to their target market. And I think that I was challenged actually by my team, by an amazing coach on my team named Anna Locke. She's like a life business coach. And she did this incredible training on figuring out like specifically who is the person you want to attract to your team. And are you speaking to them? Because you could have your posts in front of 1 million people, but if they're not you and they're not speaking to the person you want to work with, it's totally moot and pointless. So I know this is stuff that we all know, but it's stuff that I kind of missed in certain areas. But in every opportunity for a bio or an about section on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, you need to use that real estate. What's worked for me is giving about 80% personality and 20% information. So obviously not, I'm an 8-star Beachbody coach, I'm 7-time elite. That just hasn't worked for me. What makes sense is to speak in my prospect's language, and I think a lot of us already do that. Make sure you're public, you're shareable, and you're visually appealing in both desktop and mobile views. I never check my mobile view, and like 60% of people who are looking through probably higher through your content are looking from their mobile device. This is huge. Create a clickable network of all your sites, communication, channels, and accounts. So if you have, let's just say, 4 social media accounts, you have a blog, you have a Facebook like page, you have a Facebook, and you have a YouTube channel. Make sure that every single network or social media network site is linked to everything. And that includes all the high value real estate. So all my cover photos, my job description in my personal Facebook says like CEO and founder of, and then it links directly to my like page. And that's something that so many times I've seen coaches miss that opportunity when somebody goes, oh, who is this person? I love what they're posting. What do they do? She's a founder of what? And then you can actually link your like page as the company that you work for on your personal page. So it's just identifying those holes so that they can get to know you and get to know a bigger picture of you and research you, because I think that's something that's been really beneficial for me in having my cold market come to me and feel like they know me and know what I'm about, and then make the decision without having a conversation. That includes your Instagram bio link. Your profile photo is amazing real estate because people are going to click on your first photo, and right there you can say what you do, a form for your challenge group, your joining your team, or your top 5 blog posts, things like that. So this is, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit controversial. I personally am not a quantity girl. I sponsor, 5 coaches a month. Sometimes it's been more, 10 maybe on really, really big months, but I'm not sponsoring a ton of coaches. I believe in quality over quantity. working with the people that I like to work with, that I believe in, that I share values with. And I can tell you this with confidence. You know, we built an organization of over 7,000 in a few years, and I'm not that top recruiter, and I don't believe that you have to be. I think, in fact, that, you know, take a handful of spaghetti, throw it against the wall, see who sticks mentality can actually hurt you in the long run, because you have so many people pulling at you. You have so many differing mindsets. You can't impact them in a deep way the way you would if you work with your niche. So I definitely just kind of teach, when it comes to cold market, you know, work for it. Don't look at the number of followers you have. Don't look at the number of subscribers you have. Don't look at the number of likes that you have. If they're not converting, it doesn't matter. If they, you know, I have a lot of people that follow me on Instagram now, and the last 10,000 that have followed me are all Beachbody coaches. So that doesn't serve my business, and that doesn't serve my growth. And it's kind of why I've left it alone. But the reason it's important to create your ideal coach avatar, and I'm sure that some of you guys have already done this, but you become kind of the voice in their head. So if you figure out who you want to work with, and I'm going to show you the questions in a second that I use to figure out my coach avatar, when they see you post, when they stumble upon your video or your blog or your picture and your caption, you're speaking what's going on in their head. You're affirming, yeah, I do need to get fit. Yeah, I do hate my job. Yeah, I do wish that I was living for something else other than the 9 to 5 hustle. But if you water it down and you make it sales promos or even like clean recipes, I feel like that has gotten so overdone. But becoming super specific about talking to one person, your dream coach, your dream customer, it's going to make you become a magnet, because those people are going to identify with you, trust you, like you, get the way you think. What it also does is it focuses your time, your message, and your energy. I'm not trying to speak to these perfect, like super lean fitness competitors, because that's not me. And I think that in my experience with this business, and I've talked to many leaders about it as well, you try to fit every single niche. And we have an amazing product catalog, but we don't have to share them all. We don't have to speak to all those people. And I've heard people who are really incredible at their niche. If I was to, you know, speaking of Danielle, if I was to, you know, not be involved in coaching and obsessed with insanity, I would go to Danielle Natoni. And if I had problems in my pregnancy or super high medical bills, I would identify with Lindsay Matway. And if I loved turbo, I would go to Janelle. And I think that very often we make niching a bad thing, but in reality, it's a force field for the right people who, when they do find you, they don't breeze over you. They say, I get you, I like you, I want to do what you do. It helps you to stop waste your emotional energy on non-ideal prospects. I can't tell you guys how much time I have spent with coaches, and you know, many of that, the reasons this is a bad thing is because I didn't have boundaries or I didn't have qualifiers in place. But I think we all have those coaches who just suck your emotional energy. They're not made to be entrepreneurs. Maybe they don't have the same belief system or values as you. So even if they are working hard, you don't click, and they drain you and they tire you out, and you'll never be able to speak the same language. And I just personally don't want to work with those people just to see my name as top recruiter or top sales. And I think that in the long run, it'll build a more fulfilling but also stable organization of people who are tribe mindset, very like-minded. And this is really cool. So when you speak specific language to your ideal coach, and not every single person that could potentially be a coach and potentially be a customer, you can transform people's lives on a much deeper level. And it sounds corny, but that's what we're here for, is to help people live healthier, more fulfilling lives. I love that that's our tagline and our purpose, because if I'm working with a girl, I lost 50 pounds, I had gained it in a really toxic relationship in college, and depression and recreational drug use, and I dropped out. Now, if somebody who is a mom of 5 and has never ever touched, a drug in their life or a drink in their life, and maybe they commuted to college, they're not going to understand what that was like. Just like I am not going to be able to necessarily serve somebody that has lost themselves, in caring for children and putting everyone's needs before them. Of course, I work with moms, and of course, moms who don't, or parents, and of course, parents who work with people who don't have kids. But I believe that you can transform people's lives on a deeper level when you share those commonalities. And what happens is, from a business perspective, that turns into better testimonials. And referrals and testimonials are everything. That's such a big part of cold market attraction and conversion and enrollment is, oh, well, I know someone who knows that person and I can vouch for that coach. She changed my life with her group. She changed my life with that business. And it's something that I don't think we talk about a lot, especially customers who don't want to coach. I gave up on that as well. Convincing customers who are on the fence about coaching, if you don't want to build a business, fine. Be my VIP challenger and let's bring your family, your friends, and let me coach them. And that's, those testimonials are things that if you put them on your YouTube, if you put them on your blog, if you put them on your website, I believe they speak louder than any rank, than anything you can share about your training systems. If someone's saying, I was a stranger, I met this person, they changed my life in this way, that speaks volumes. It kind of brings down the fear factor. And then niching down does not exclude anyone or limit your success. So I grew up in a small town, and there was this one commercial lot that was like a candy store, and then like a macaroon shop, and then like a tackle fishing place, and then like a crazy lakefront real estate office, but we didn't have a lake around us, and it just kept closing down. And it was this joke, like, why are you doing this boutique niche-based thing in such a small town? But that's old school business mindset, because we have the internet at our fingertips. There are literally millions of people who want your boutique Beachbody business. They want to know what you can give them in addition to a challenge pack, or what is different about you. And I think that there's a misconception about niching down your messaging on social media, because it doesn't mean I'm going to get this. It means that somebody may identify with my faith, or somebody may identify with the college I went to. Just because you niche down doesn't mean that you're going to get carbon copies of yourself. It's just going to be maybe one or two values that you share together. So I've done some R&D, and this is actually like the most fun, I think, of social media marketing and figuring out how to reach out to your cold market. So this is something I'll definitely share these slides, because I would highly recommend taking like 30 minutes and like really brainstorming and free writing and thinking about who is my ideal customer and coach. This is not like, this is not woo-woo. This is not manifest into the world, even though I do believe in manifestation and things like that. You got to get so specific that you get in their head and you speak their language and you know what they're struggling with. So I like to just encourage my team to think of someone that they love to work and serve with. So who's your favorite coach? That your top coach, or your downline coach, or maybe your upline coach, somebody that you just love. And then, think about what they're like. How old are they? What is their gender, their income level currently, their hobbies, their values, their beliefs, their relationship status, their family life, and then their fitness and business experience. And if you start tailoring your posts to, a 35-year-old guy who has tons of business experience but has been burned by his previous employer, he's got a wife and a new baby on the way, he believes he's made for something more, but he has no time with his family. If you drilled into that, you would find them, you would speak to them, you would create resources that are going to make that person trust you. And I would love a team of that. My husband would love a team of that. It's also super important to identify who you do not want to work with. And this can be negative qualities, but it can also be positive boundaries. So I know a lot of women only want to work with women, and that may be something that you decide. You may also only want to work with people that are positive. I mean, that's not a bad thing. I actually have on my list, I don't want to work with anyone that has limited social media experience. So if they have no photos of themselves on their Facebook, I don't want to work with them. And I can say that as a business owner. So get specific. If they have absolutely no computer skills, maybe that's somebody that you want to pass up on. I'm sure this is very controversial. I've seen it. I'm sure you guys have seen it in leaders pages and study groups and the wall that, oh, I would never, ever pass up a coach. I would sign up everybody. That's just not my posture, because I don't want to work with somebody that I have to teach financial planning and, how to cook and how to shower and how to run their household and I just don't believe that that's something that I can serve. That's not how I can serve best. So I set those boundaries. And then think about who you are when you found Beachbody, because that's really the person that you want to speak to. I know you guys know that. So to dig a little bit deeper into this customer avatar and to really speak to them, you've got to think, you've got to name them. You could find a picture of them. Where do they live? What are their hobbies and interests outside of work? This is great for Facebook ad targeting, but it's also great if you share those hobbies. Think about what you like to do outside of work, or what your dream coach or dream customer likes to do outside of work. What are their guilty pleasures? What experts do they follow for advice? Do they follow Dave Ramsey? Do they follow Oprah? If you were to go to either Dave Ramsey or Oprah's page or The Real Housewives or Sports Center, whatever it may be, that's your cold market that's not hashtagging insanity and hashtagging P90X. We don't want just to recycle our customers and coaches. We want new people. So by getting super specific and saying, oh, well, I love to watch Scandal, and so I now have every single person that watches Scandal. I can post on Thursdays or Fridays after that episode, and suddenly we have this commonality. And oh, that girl who likes Scandal and always funny and always doing commentary about it also does P90X. If she likes Scandal, she may like P90X. It sounds kind of like a far reach, but it's not. It's credibility. What do they do in their free time? What do they believe in? What's their Myers-Briggs personality? I would love to work with all ENFPs. I'm an ENFP, and I get ENFPs. What stresses them out? That's something that if you really figure out what stresses out my ideal coach, you could do a free group, you could do a post, you could do a video, you could do a training on how to eliminate whatever is stressing them out, and that's going to create credibility. What do they want to change about their life? How do they want to feel? If there were no obstacles like money and time, or they have a perfect body, the perfect life, what would they do? Those are all the things that are constantly going to bring fresh people into your market. If we just talk about Beachbody on demand, if we just talk about rank advancements and cool meeting groups, we're only going to attract other Beachbody coaches. And I hate that more than anything. So the further you can step away from Beachbody, but still talking about things that you love and identify with, the more fresh leads you're going to get that are super cold, but trust you and are warming up. So this is just a really great exercise. I highly encourage you to just dig in like crazy and create this avatar. Now this is where it gets really, really, really fun. And it really is like a science experiment where you're trying to figure out what makes people tick. So interview and survey your existing customers and coaches, or the customers and coaches who wish that they've enrolled with you. I'm sure you guys have gotten that message. I wish I knew you were around. I wish you were my coach. Ask them, hey, would you hop on the phone? Would you get on Skype? Would you tell me, what are the things that you looked for when you were signing up with that person? What are the things that you liked about me? What are the things that immediately attracted you to my team? Even if they're not on your team and they said they wanted to, interview them. That's data. That is things that you can then repeat and really focus in on your blog or in your content. Get on the phone with a Facebook friend who's not even involved in your business or a follower, and offer an incentive for them to simply give you feedback on what you post. So do a focus group. Say, I think this is totally separate from policy and procedure, so there's no limitation on what you incentivize for this information. But I heard once a really successful entrepreneur sent a bouquet of flowers to every client, like major client that they lost. and said, hey, I valued our time together. I just want to say thank you and would love to know if there's something that I did. You know, our most least satisfied customers are our best gateway and key into the future on what to do with our business, but we can do the same thing with people who are just kind of onlookers. What does my business look like to you? What do you secretly hate about my posts? What annoys you about Beachbody? What intrigues you about Beachbody? And offer some sort of incentive. Another thing is to incorporate questions into your challenge group check-ins or a survey as a qualifier or a one-on-one phone call with your team or coaches for their feedback. So in those phone calls, you can get really important data, like what are your goals? What do you think that I do? And that's people who aren't already coaches. What do you want to learn from me as one of my downline coaches? What was the best experience you've had with me in a challenge group or in a coaching group since signing up? And that's literally, especially if you ask these questions to your ideal coaching customer, these are the things that you want to then repeat over and over and over and over again. If somebody says to you, well, I just wanted to be a part of this community because in my Group X classes that I teach, I don't feel connected to my customers, but in this way, I feel connected to my customers. Well, that's my top coach named Jamie, and I want 1 million Jamies. So if I was to advertise a coaching opportunity, I would say, are you frustrated as a Group X instructor that you can't connect with your clients? So you don't even have to come up with these things. You can ask them and offer a one-on-one call or a shout out or a graphic creation or something in exchange. So from there, I really do believe all of this cold market attraction is content-based. It's being vulnerable, it's being authentic, and it's researching the things that have gone right and repeating them over and over and over again. So with all of this, this is how I never run out of content. I teach this to my team. You can apply this to the 3 vital behaviors. You can apply this to your workout. You can apply this to your personal development. You can apply this to your business, your marriage, your hobbies, your family, your life coaching questions. And so I asked myself, and I asked myself very similar questions to this in building my following during my workouts. So I would say, what am I struggling with today? What inspired me? How have I grown since yesterday? Who do I want to be tomorrow? What is my biggest excuse? What is my plan to conquer it? What does success look like for me? What am I challenging myself with? How did the old me think? What was my light bulb moment today? And I feel like Kim saying this, how did I win today? And the whole sales team. It's something that's super subjective and it's transformative. And as you evolve, all of these things apply. So I have this printed out. I have my team have this printed out in their workout space. And so they're asking themselves these questions before, during, and after their workout. And they're thinking about it. And then as soon as they're done, they're writing their content. And they're speaking honestly and authentically. And in those moments when I was working out and I felt my 50-pound heavier body jiggle and I felt disgusting and splashy and like a failure, those were the things that I wrote about. And that was the connective tissue. That was immediate trust, immediate warming of my market. And so I think when it comes to attracting a cold market, it's really all about vulnerability, and it's super courageous and it's super necessary. I've seen so many coaches just being so sterile, even successful coaches. I'd love to hear what they're afraid of. When, like, for example, the clean recipes. I would love to hear, an injured athlete who is unable to train and is struggling that they're going to lose their fitness, talk about what recipes work for them. Or, someone who is recovering from an eating disorder, what they do for clean recipes. And that's niching down, and it's putting your heart out there, and it's being courageous enough to say to somebody, I'm wearing this on my sleeve, and I want you to come with me. And it's magnetic at that point. You gotta fight them off. And they're the right people that you want to work with, that trust you, that like you, and that you like as well. So this is my content. That's not how you end the call. Does anybody have any questions? I don't. Okay.
Yeah, I think you.
Okay, so what did you guys think about that? You have any feedback on anything at all? What stood out to you at all? Anything? Any comments? You can type it if you want.
I like the questions that she asked at the end.
Yeah.
I think that's a way to kind of get yourself thinking, because we all struggle with what to post all the time. But I thought it was all really good.
Yeah. That's definitely one thing recently, like with the, like you said, while you're working out or you're reading your personal development or whatever stands out to you, however you're feeling, you're actually putting it out there and being vulnerable every day, and people can relate. And the whole niche thing, I mean, is pretty awesome. But I've listened to this call several times, and every time there's something that stands out, it's just like, oh my God. But yeah, if you don't follow her, she's definitely one to follow. She's got amazing content, and it's always sometimes like really, really long, but it's something you always want to read. So, and you want to be that person on Facebook or whatever social media that you're using. You want to be that person where people will say, okay, this person posted, so let me stop what I'm doing and actually read it. You want to have that kind of content on your page. You don't want to be the one that people continue to scroll and don't really care what you have to say. But whatever you have to say is important. It's just about finding a way to present it in a way that people do want to read it or listen to it if it's a video. Anything else?
There were some comments in there, Natalie.
What's that?
There were some comments in there.
Yes, definitely the live videos. It's ripping the Band-Aid off and doing it, and you don't feel like you have to, have your makeup on and like look perfect. I think the last one I did, my hair was like hadn't been washed. It was all over the place, looked horrible. But people relate to you being you and not the glamorized version of you. If you're scripted and you don't sound like yourself, then people are gonna spot that a mile away. So just do it, and you get better at it the more you do it, and it's fun. All right. Well, I hope you got some sort of value. Sorry it wasn't Chelsea Pearson live, but I felt like the video itself was definitely worth sharing. And like I said, we do this once a week with Craig, and there's always something. I always feel like I don't have anything to share with those coaches. They probably feel the same way. I know that before she even got on the call, she said she was really, really nervous to present. She did an amazing job. So anyway, all right. Well, we have, again, some exciting news for tomorrow with someone on the call. And Jesse, I'm glad you had an awesome time in Texas. I loved seeing your posts, and your videos were awesome too. So thanks for sharing those. Oh.
Amazing notes. I'll see if I can forward them to you by email or something. I couldn't believe how well he did. He documented the entire presentation. So if I can email somebody the document he took, but it's amazing how good a notes he took. And it's very straightforward. The whole program is very straightforward. You just got to be consistent with it. Relate to everybody. However the conversation goes. You guys hear me? I got a fan right up.
You're really quiet, but I mean.
Yeah, there's a fan. I'm in a hospital right now, but you just got to find, if you start a conversation with somebody, you find the keywords that makes yourself relatable to them and make the conversation about them. If they start talking about their kids, if you ask them about their kids or what they do for fun, go after that. Don't talk about what you have for fun, because they don't want to hear that. They want to have the conversation based on themselves. So make the whole conversation based on whatever they want to talk about. And if you ask enough questions, you'll know exactly what they want to talk about. And once you know it, once you get to know them, like the video I posted yesterday, once you gain their trust, they'll do whatever you want them to do. That's kind of the beauty of it, is you just become relatable to them and they'll do whatever you want them to. So if you want them to be a great coach, ask them to be a great coach. If you want them to just lead challenge groups, they'll do it. Once they relate to you and feel comfortable enough with you, it might take a while. It might not happen overnight or in a month or 2 months, but people are watching every post you put. So 3 to 5 posts a day, and you'll hit your market, whoever you're aiming for, whether it be moms with kids or T-ball coaches or soccer moms or whoever you're looking for. Just very general posts, and people are relating they might not say anything, but they're relating the entire time you're posting stuff. And just today, I put a picture of my kid in his little sleep sack, like a little sleeping bag thing. A girlfriend requested me yesterday. I guess she had a kid 5 days ago. She friend requested me yesterday. She saw that post I had this morning about a sleeping bag, a baby sleeping bag. And then from that sleeping bag picture, she looked at my other pictures and she saw Jen was working out. She's like, "Oh my God, I just had a baby too." So in the span of a day, somebody had already jumped on board. Just somebody that wasn't a friend yesterday. So make sure you got posts that are going to hit a wide range of people. You might think they're stupid posts, and that's what Chris Reed said. He's like, "I don't care if people are making fun of my posts. Somebody sees it, and somebody sees that they're valuable posts." So you're not looking at one person. You're aiming at your entire Facebook population. So don't worry about what you're posting. So that's kind of the 2 cents. But I'll forward you the notes this guy took. I have notes, but he took awesome notes.
Okay.
And it's laid out very straightforward. All the different speakers, what their key points were, what they do every single day. And then Patrick Reelman, that's the same thing. He does all of his posts at the beginning of the. Well, I'm dragging you guys on now. Get it done by the 10th of the month. Make all your invitations by the 10th of the month. That way you know who you're working with the rest of the month. Once they get their challenge pack delivered to them, you make a personal phone call to them so he knows that. You're making a connection before the whole program even starts, and then throughout the plan, you just make more of a connection, and that's who your next coach is going to be. So you're looking for people that, like she had said, I think she was, I was listening in the background, I couldn't quite hear, but you're watching to see who your good coaches are going to be. Whoever participates with what challenge groups you're running, if you have them do assignments, like simple assignments, take a picture, or what are you struggling with today? When people respond, that's who your target coaches are going to be, because those are the ones that are going to help you build your team. One of the speakers, he looks for 5 solid coaches, and each one of those coaches looks for 5 solid coaches. So if you can find some awesome leaders, the possibilities are endless. You just got to find those 5 strong leaders, and then it'll go from there. It'll take off from there. But that's my 2 cents for today. I wasn't going to talk, but since you brought it up.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck. It's very straightforward. You just got to be consistent with it. The whole plan is very straightforward. It's not like the post I had yesterday. It's not simple, or it's not easy, but it's simple to do. The actual tasks are easy. The actual tasks are simple. You just got to be consistent every single day. All right, thanks. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, consistency. Anytime I've ever had to speak on anything, if it's Super Saturday or a call or anything, that really and truly is the key to this business. It's doing the same things every single day, and even when you feel like nothing's happening, you still do them anyway, and it's a compound effect over time that literally and truly, it's because too many times coaches don't see something happen within a certain time frame, so they fall off for a time frame. So then it's starting back over again with the consistency. So they're like, well, this isn't happening. This isn't working for me because I've been a coach for 2 years and nothing's happened. Well, no, you were consistent for this long, and then you weren't consistent for this long, and then you were consistent for this long. And so it's about being consistent all the way through. And then that's a different tangent,
Yep. Get out of your comfort zones. Don't worry about what people say. I printed out my whole Facebook friend list, and I think there's 26 names on a page. I got through half of a page and had 2 people on board that night. So you never know who's going to say yes because everybody wants you to ask them. Nobody's going to come to you to ask what you do. I mean, yeah, you might get some people trickling in, but they don't know exactly what it is. But as soon as you approach them, I mean, they're all in. So that's where the consistency hits because people want to be asked. And that's just what everyone has to get through to them is you're not bothering somebody when you're asking them to get fit. It's helping them. So you have to reach out to them.
Yeah, that's where the whole personal invite comes from. Yeah, we post on Facebook every day. That's awesome. You definitely want to continue to do that, but it's personally inviting. I've had people say, why didn't you contact me? Why didn't you invite me? Why didn't you invite me to the opportunity? Why didn't you think of me? And you're like, crap, I'm sorry. That was like, almost an insult to some people who are like, why didn't you reach out? When you're posting and you're obviously reaching out to other people, why are you leaving me out? I mean, friends of mine from high school that were like some of my best friends, I never really looked to. And they're like, I really wish you would have asked me. And, one of my girlfriends is now doing Redan Fields or whatever, how you pronounce that. But she would have been an amazing coach had I asked her because she works for in nutrition for the FDA. And I chose not to ask her. But now she's in network marketing. She loves network marketing. And she's like loving what she's doing. But she would have been, if she would have gotten on board when I first got on board and had I asked her, she would have said yes. But anyway, so don't discount anyone ever.
I just want to, you guys all know we're doing the social media training, which I'm still obsessed with. Sorry. But a lot of the concepts that were talked about in this video tonight are things that I've been applying on my like page. Really going after my niche market, being myself on there, like trying to engage. So, I mean, we're doing Facebook advertising. So that's gaining me a lot of followers. I've gone from 425 likes on my page now to over almost 2,200 in like a month. So that's been awesome. But it's not even just like the paid advertising. I mean, this is like engaging with people, being real, speaking to I speak to working moms. I speak to moms. I speak to people who like are short on time. And I haven't had a ton of engagement. I get a lot of likes, but not a lot of comments yet. I mean, it's all starting to build up now. But the trust level is there. Like the other day, I ran a free leg and booty challenge a couple of weeks ago. And the other day, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and the challenge already ended. The group had already ended. So I'm like, I'm just going to go ahead and run this and do this on my like page. Nobody really commented on it, but I think those videos got a lot of likes. And I think people are just starting to realize that they can trust me, that I'm offering a lot of value on my page. And I'm super excited about this. But just today, I had 3 people message me that they want into my challenge group, and 1 person just ordered. So I'm like super stoked, and I've got more conversations happening. And it's just by being consistent. I've been posting, like Jesse said, 3 to 5 times every single day on my like page. I'm sharing some of those posts on my personal page. I'm still trying to keep that market going. I don't want to completely close off on that. And a lot of those people are now starting to come over to my like page, which is great. So people who want to hear your content are following you now on your like page. But regardless if it's your personal page or like page, it's that consistency. I wasn't consistent at all before I started this training, and I wasn't hitting my goals every month, and I was starting to get really frustrated. And lo and behold, like the thing that you hear from day one, be consistent, actually works. So I'm excited. But anyways, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, you're doing awesome. Like I said, as soon as I get moved in and things are less crazy, I'm digging into the training like nobody's doing. So can't wait. FYI, next week, I'll be in our new house and I'll be in my office. I won't be in this dungeon that looks like I don't know, in some kind of creepy hole. So anyway, I should have played Closing Time song instead of what I played tonight. Anyway. All right. Well, does anybody else have anything else? We're 10 till 9, a little bit longer than we usually go, but I'm glad you guys had some things to offer to say. I do want to take a group picture. I know, Jesse, that sometimes you can't get on.
No photos when I'm at work.
Yeah,
Work.
photo for you.
All right.
Ronnie, I see that you aren't on with your picture. Do you want to put your picture on? Ronnie? Oh, girl, whatever. Not a mess. Oh, Summit, really quick. For those of you who are going to be at Summit, there's a page for our team. Wednesday night, I have something up my sleeve for us to do, and I need a head count because I'm going to have an exact head count for it to happen. So I'm very excited about it. We're going to have a lot of fun. So if you are coming in a little early on Wednesday, there you are. You're not a mess. You're crazy. If that's your mess, then you look good. All right. So I'm going to take a picture in 1, 2, sorry. I'm sorry, y'all suck. All right. 1, 2, 3. And I'll take one more. 1, 2, 3. All right. Thanks for getting on, y'all. I hope you had some value out of this, and feel free to re-listen to it because there may have been some nuggets from Chelsea's video that will speak to you. And just know that, your Facebook is your storefront, and it is what you make it. So you can make it whatever you want. So anyway, I'm getting sleepy. All right. Y'all have a fantastic week, and love you guys, and see you next week. Bye.